So, I was thinking about one of my longtime aspirations, and that was to uh, gain notoriety or fame or notability through some means. And traditionally, I thought it would be over having a skill that people found desirable, or over vlogging or just speaking about political issues. And it's kind of a thing I don't like admitting to because I'm aware that people do very despicable things for fame and notoriety, and that's why I don't like to associate myself with um, those type of individuals. Not to say I'm better than them, but well, yeah, the ones who go out and commit some crime so they can have their face in the paper. That's where I draw the line. But I always wanted to do that because I thought in having it, I would have enough name recognition to go around advancing causes that I wanted to support. You look at the campaign of Obama back in 2008, and you saw all of these celebrities go out and endorse him. They made this whole thing about the Oprah effect. This person with great notoriety, she's been famous for decades. She is so well liked. She delivered all these votes to him just by endorsing him. You know, that is something I wish I had the power to do, where your opinion on something matters to people because you as a person matter to people. Even if they don't personally know you, they still like and trust you enough to go off of your judgment because they know that, or at least they feel, um, that you are acutely aware of whatever you're advocating for. So let's say I was famous and everyone knows who I am, and they're going, "Oh, JND, JND," and I proceed to go around the state or the western part of the United States advocating for single payer health care. I say, "Hey, sign this petition. Let's get millions of signatures on this," and then we all, I start going to different states to try and run some candidates to replace these corporate, sellouts for office. I would be more convinced that that's something I could do because more people would know who I was and have a favorable view of me and be more willing to donate to that cause. And I'm not one who would just be so bothered by never getting it. I'm used to being tossed away or pushed away or discarded of, whether it be by some former acquaintance, by some person either one sided, as in I liked them, they didn't like me, friendship with or romantic interest. And it happens, and it's happened before to the point where I'm used to it. And you know, what I'm seeking to convey here is that I would only want a person to donate to my cause if I truly believed it would benefit them. Um, and I don't see how I could get that many people to go after something I believed in if they didn't know who I was. Now, you look at the case of Cory Booker, the sole African American male that is a Democrat in the United States Senate. When he first got in there, I was so excited, so happy, all enthusiastic. Here comes the next black president. And then, I started looking up the whole Wall Street aspect of him being in there. How back in January he was one of, I think, 14 Democrats didn't vote for that bill Sanders put out to try and bring the price of medicine down. Meanwhile, he's taking in $200,000 from the pharmaceutical countries, and those are things to which I would use as a basis for arguing against this person even being in office, and I would feel more credible to make that argument going into a state like New Jersey where he's from. if people knew who I was and I didn't have to go through this game of this is some random guy knocking on my door who is trying to, mess with my beloved senator. And, one other, I guess, big point of just this is also of noteworthiness in my view. So I've had people that have stated, what would you do if you had the fame? What would you do if you were just so well liked and popular and blah 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 blah. One thing I always was interested in was using the name recognition to sponsor some and I guess this does tie back into what I said earlier, but there's a difference because I think public service is what I would advocate for. You have people whine all the time, oh, politics is corrupt, and you get in there and you make it uncorrupt. By having people get engaged and involved, and the best way to get people engaged and involved, as these Democrats know, and getting these celebrities to go out and campaign for them, is to get people who are well respected, notable, and are of interest to the general public to come out and support you. Those are things which people, I feel, would be greatly assisted in if I were it. I don't lose sleep overnight over not being famous. Yes, it's something that I would want, but only if it were for the right reason. And I think my goals in wanting that um, are pure, or at least come with good intention. I'm not interested in selling some brand. I don't have an ambition to be some millionaire. My sole interest really relies on taking some part, a role in what brings about the fall of the corporations in the US and our political climate, raising awareness of the very possible likelihood of issues such as free college, single payer health care, ending these wars, investing at home and instead of abroad. I guess America first, which that's now become a phrase of shh after Trump used it. But my point is, those are things that I feel having someone who's famous going for and advocating for them every day could really cause them to change. But we don't have enough people doing that. And I know I'm not going to get popular over doing any of these videos, no matter how well I try to speak, no matter how grammatically correct I try to pretend that I am. At the end of the day, I'm a one view wonder, just like a good chunk of other users on here who, you know, YouTube could dispatch of at any moment and would never even get so much as 1% of someone like PewDiePie's subscribers. And I'm only bothered by that for the fact that I know if I had that following, I would use it for a purpose that I think would better the lives of the people that watch me.